In 2012, Bob Guller, Jerry Schlichter, Joe Schlafly, and Zach Boyers noted that St. Louis was losing many of our Fortune 500 corporations and having trouble attracting and retaining big business. They felt the best way to combat this was a grassroots effort aimed at growing small businesses that would stimulate the local economy immediately and eventually transform into new Fortune 500 companies with a solid foundation here. Thus, Arch Grants and their global startup competition was born.
Arch Grants is bringing entrepreneurs here and keeping those that we have.
And our innovative model is bringing early stage companies to St. Louis with equity-free funding, which is unheard of at the scale that we do it at.
We run around and said, look, the way we're really going to make a difference is we're going to get 10, 20 entrepreneurs every year to come to St. Louis and start their companies here. We're really going to make it happen, and please believe us and give us money. And the great thing about St. Louis is people did.
And the goal is to make this a burgeoning entrepreneurial community, keep our young people, and make people excited about what's going on here.
The way that we ignite ingenuity and innovation in St. Louis is through our global startup competition.
Since Arch Grant's creation, over 130 early-stage companies have been awarded $50,000 in equity-free funding, totaling over $7 million in grants, and most are still active in St. Louis. Judges in diverse industries provide feedback and select 40 finalists to invite to pitch day. This gives entrepreneurs the opportunity to present a 15-minute business pitch. Grant recipients are chosen based on viability, scalability, and most importantly, fit within the St. Louis community.
The real value that our companies see in an Arch Grant is the follow-on, the connections we're able to make after the fact. We offer, in addition to that $50,000, they receive pro bono or highly discounted legal services, accounting services, marketing services, those types of things. And then they also are entered into this cohort of the other recipients that have won their year. And it's just 18 entrepreneurs or 19 entrepreneurs that are building their businesses here.
One of the most attractive pieces about St. Louis is everybody knows everybody. So if you know what somebody needs to be successful, you can help them get there by connecting them with another individual that you know.
Receiving an Arch Grant is a mark of validation from both the organization itself, our board, and more importantly, the St. Louis community.
We are here to affect positive change because we are building a company that seeks to do something better than how we thought it was done in the past.
You're looking for companies that are innovative, that can have a change to their employees and the people they hire, that can contribute to the diversity of the business community, so that it's not just the same old people all the time who are creating the accumulations of wealth and then setting the agenda for our community. If it's the same old people again, we'll get the same priorities again and again and again.
And our long-term goal is that these companies that we bring will thrive and grow in St. Louis and give back to the community. And we're grateful that that's already started to happen.
We look at diversity from a number of different perspectives. We look at diversity of opinions, diversity of thoughts, diversity when it comes to race and gender and age and immigrants. And all of that is under the umbrella of that is what it takes from our perspective to build a rich economy.
We don't want all St. Louis grants. We want people that have come from the outside of St. Louis who are really coming to start a business and a life here and are moving their families and their businesses to St. Louis to totally engage in the community.
But by looking for people who are diverse and bring different perspective, then those who do well in business will represent a wider swath of our society. And then the priorities that come from those people who have the means to fund those priorities will come from people with a wider perspective.
It is shocking how much we undervalue St. Louis as a city, and putting St. Louis on the map is part of what Arch Grants is really about.
What I'm thinking about is actually sparking positive change in how our economy is developing, how we are developing a diverse and inclusive workforce, how we are giving people opportunity here in St. Louis, and that's what we continue to do.